Hello, and welcome back, Mark Leslie, for those who read his fiction, and Mark Leslie Lefevbre, for those who are familiar with him as an amazing speaker and everything else. So welcome back, Mark.
Great to be here, John. Thank you.
Yeah, so you're that guy with the skulls everywhere around. So what's the deal with that?
The skulls are just part of the brand, right? So when you see my stuff, you know what you're going to get. You're probably going to get something a little bit spooky, a little bit darker than the average bear's fiction. So that's just part of the author branding.
I love. We're going to go into various books that you wrote, but we're also going to discuss what could be deemed the equivalent, or what could have been the equivalent of the motion picture rating system with respect to writing fiction. So a little bit about that, please.
Yeah, sure. So unlike the motion picture industry, there's not really a universal rating for books. You have book subject codes that can differentiate whether a book is going to be a juvenile category or an adult category. Within the adult categories, you have things when you get into more spicier topics like romance and what we like to say is more active romance and the various degrees of heat.
Is that what we like to say now?
Yeah, but it's just a nicer way of saying erotica, but it's an interesting way of looking at books is we don't have the same classification. So I think what's important is understanding how to communicate that to your ideal audience.
Which is, I think it's really important. I've not discussed this at all in any of the past podcasts I've done. So I was so excited to do this after reading one of your stories, like, how does that work? So I think this is great because I love the Canadian Werewolf series, and I think it's something that anybody that listens is going to end up wanting to check out.
There will be a link to where anyone can listen to Lover's Moon, as read by the authors, Mark Leslie and Julie Strauss, completely for free via podcast. Or, for those who are interested, I'll have access to 30 codes for a Canadian Werewolf in New York, read by professional narrator Scott Overton.
Because there's it's an amazing storyline, just a lot of fun.
Oh, thanks so much, John. And I'm glad that I started poking in those areas just to get you to think about that, because you're like, oh, wow, I wasn't expecting that.
I definitely wasn't, and people are going to enjoy this, and hopefully this helps them also and help as a writer on how to direct what you do, what your levels of violence and sex in your storytelling, and how you're dealing with it, and what to expect when you do that.
Yeah, very, very important topic. So glad we had a chance to chat about that.
Great. So thank you very much.